This song is not about who you are or what color you wear. It's about saving this beautiful country. Now give me. It's time each one help each other. As one country, one nation. Everyone, give a helping hand. I can't do it for myself, cause no man is an island. Politics now is about wealth, like we lost with direction. Time to put a trade on the shelf, love is the medication. We not screen it back to she health, yeah. And the time is no, we can't wait for tomorrow. And if we don't know how, we could end up in sorrow. We just got to be strong when faced with tribulation. If each one teach one, we must build this nation. Reach out, reach out, reach out to someone, give an helping hand. I want to reach out, reach out, reach out to the youth and tell them the truth. You must be a preacher to help somebody. You must be a teacher to teach somebody. You must be a doctor to heal somebody. You must be a lover to love somebody. Love somebody. Reach out, reach out, reach out to someone. Reach out. Give an helping hand. Reach I want to reach out, reach out, reach out to the youth and tell them the truth. Talking about governance and transparency. Stories long like yet to grandance. Man, we worse than a Nancy. The pressure reaching down to we pants. Still like they blind and they can't see. Everyone deserves a chance, yeah. And the time is no. We can't wait for tomorrow. Like we still don't know how to pay back when we borrow. See this stuff about who's wrong, which is the situation. The only solution to build this nation. We have to reach out to someone. Give an helping hand. I want to reach out to the youth and tell them the truth. There must be a minister to help somebody. There must be an instructor to teach somebody. There must be a pastor to heal somebody. There must be a lover to love somebody. Reach out to someone. Give an helping hand. I want to reach out to the youth and tell them the truth. Help somebody. It's like we forget about Christ while the devil on a rampage. All the youths talking about sex nice, like they forget about it. Before you talk, you could lose your life. It's the signs of the last days. I don't want us to pay the price, no. So the time is no. We can't wait for tomorrow. And if we don't know how, we could end up in sorrow. You just have to be strong when faced with tribulation. If each one teach one, we must build this nation. Reach out to someone. Give an helping hand. I want to reach out to the youth and tell them the truth. There must be a preacher to help somebody. There must be a teacher to teach somebody. There must be a doctor to heal somebody. There must be to someone. Give an helping hand. I want to reach out to the youth and tell them the truth. Reach out to somebody, reach out to the youth. Show some love, give an helping hand, help someone. Show some love, reach out to somebody. Yeah, yeah, whoa.
Think about it first. Boy, mommy, oh, hey, hey, aligi dan dan do, di dan dan dan. Control, not to be used as any pawn. That God-given gift so we can know what is right from what is wrong. And in everything that we do, always in for positive outcome. Look before you leap, cause what you sow you reap. Look before you end up in a big heap of. Look before you leap, for curiosity take a peep. Look before you end up drowning in the deep. What I'm trying to tell you, don't jump unless you show about it. Don't jump, don't act like you're mad. Don't jump, it might be too dangerous. Think about it first. Don't jump, once you leave the rock. Don't jump, and not turning back. No, try to avoid disaster. Selfishness and greed be your hindrance. This will surely block your way once given a chance. And all these strides you have made to progress that will fade. And all the goals that you set out for suddenly is all great. Be a leader and don't just follow. Or you could end up following clowns. Or you could be like birds that should be soaring, but somehow can get off the ground. With every step that you'll be taking, make sure you take a long hard look. And one thing to always remember, the cover can't help you judge the book. Look before you leap, cause what you sow you reap. Look before you end up in a pile of. Look before you leap, for curiosity take a peek. Look before you end up drowning in the deep. What I'm trying to tell you, don't jump unless you show about it. Don't jump, don't act like you're mad. Don't jump, it might be too dangerous. Think about it first. Don't jump, once you leave the rock. Don't jump, and not turning back. No, think about it, my brother. Don't invest in anything you don't know about. And don't take chances if you are ever in doubt. You must thoroughly investigate. You can't afford to make no mistake, cause by the time you realize it's already late. Be there shooting at what you can see, or looking for needles in the dark. Are you in a hurry going somewhere, but the horse is behind the cart?
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'm here until the 10 o'clock hour.
Jump from the pot to the frying pan.
Hope that you all have had a fabulous day today.
Cause what you sow you reap.
And are having a fabulous night tonight, yeah?
You end up in a pile of.
Daddy, your son tell me you're going out in the veranda already, yeah?
take a beat.
Good night to you, Mr. Handsome.
And drowning in the deep.
Hope that you're having a wonderful night tonight, you and mommy.
Don't jump unless you show up
Zayla, good night to you, my dear.
like you're bad.
I saw Grandma the other day.
Dangerous. Think about it first. Once you leave the rock, and not
See if you're going to get vexed now, eh?
no.
Azalea, she will get upset with me. Azalea, good night to you.
No, 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 my brother. Don't go. No, no. After everything now, at the end of the day,
Patricia and Matthew, good night to both of you.
and who have the fact,
Camille Teresa Scott, good night to you, my dear.
whether it's jobs or relationships or even elections, the mandate is always there resting in your hands. Man, don't venture if it's looking blurry. You don't know what's behind closed curtain. You know what you had for the past years, but you don't know what's coming in. You don't want to see that the outcome is something that you always feared. Avoid self-disgust when it's over and the smoke is already cleared. Look before you leave, 'cause what you sow you reap.
Yeah, some people didn't look before they leap, eh? You see where we end up in? A pile.
Look before you leave. For curiosity, take a peek. Look before you end up drowning in the deep. What I'm trying to tell you, don't jump unless you're sure about it.
So saying good night to all of you joining us. Oh dear, yeah, oh Lord, I'm gonna get in trouble here. I'm saying good night to all of you joining us via We Noise Radio,
But this is not
We Noise TV. Yeah, no, not that one.
back. No, no. Let us avoid disaster. Oh, yo, 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 yo.
Good night to all of you joining us via Facebook, all of you on the YouTube. Again, all of you joining us via We Noise Radio and TV. And those of you listening us over your neighbor Bluetooth, yeah?
Knows that many heroes has lived and died among us, but it's only after they dead and gone they seem to get some recognition. But when some of them live, they suffer and grieve for basic necessities, and then to add more insult to injuries, they crying long tears for the disease. But not to study them when you hear they opening of the mouth. No, when Harry was alive, a rose fruit was his only growth. But on the day he passed away,
And tonight, I believe I've sorted out the issue of the 4407377 WhatsApp number. So we can take your calls on that one tonight. And we can take your calls on the 4217279. We're not taking the calls yet, though.
giving me flowers before I
I should be having a guest on with me at some point tonight for us to discuss a little bit about the NNP app. Because as you know, the NNP has launched a new app. And I want to make sure that everybody gets the information regarding that, so that when the time comes, yeah, we all know what we had to do, how we had to do it, and them kind of thing. NNP, we moving with technology. All right, so we have the NNP app that has been launched, and you will be getting some information on that so that you could load it up so you could get all the information you need to get. You'll be able to donate through the app to the New National Party.
Andre Fletcher, Uriah Speed.
So I should have a guest on with me. I'm not sure who is coming on, but I do have a guest on with me roughly about 8:45 to talk about that.
Wesley Smith, Timothy Atwine, and Keisha, just to name a few. Whether or not you like Dr. Keith Mitchell, he may
And during the day today, several people spoke to me considering the issue of the Parliamentary Electoral Office and what they're doing going out to the different schools and so on.
disappear. Try to
And I've said it before on the program, so it shouldn't be strange. And I hope my audio is coming through okay. I didn't check to see because up to about 3 minutes before the program, I had no audio. Yeah, I made a change on the system and I had to go back to what I was doing before because I tried to see how I could, how I could get everything to work properly without any noise. And man, oh man, listen, I couldn't get nothing to play. It's just about 3 minutes before the program, no audio, and then it just up and start to work. Yeah.
Before I died, give me flowers before I died.
Yeah, these days I just have to do my technical myself, you know. Have a good partner there. I'll call him tomorrow to make a little pass by me and help me out, yeah? Partners, you will get a call from me after the program, eh? Good night to the geezer out there in the UK.
Nice me now.
Hope you're having a wonderful night, bro. Well, wonderful morning.
When I finish my little mission.
My other listener there who was at Norman's funeral and on Sunday, I met you again. I'm not sure if you're in the UK or you're still in Grenada, but I'm saying a special good night or good morning to you as well.
You wait till I starve to death. Then blow your nose while they're reading me. You are Rochi, you must stop the damn disrespect. The ordinary people like me and you could be heroes too, yeah.
Alright, so they're hearing me loud and clear, yeah?
This we make for a total stranger's sake. The ones we take for granted and we never appreciate. After they gone to the great beyond, you know that it is too late. So leave no stone unturned.
Fergie, good night to you.
Effort must be spared.
Ranks, good night to you, man.
No procrastinating.
And Alban Claude, good night to all of you.
I dread.
My Carriacou people, especially my special Carriacou people out there in New York, who does say they want a name. You say you want your name called, just know that Senator Cox, make sure you bring the card and thing by me. Yes. All right, nice. Just want to make sure that you know that he did pass on your message to me, huh? Nice.
Whether or not you like Dr. Lee.
And I was so glad to get that particular photo that you sent, man. I was so glad for that one.
We have
Love that lady, huh?
give them the honor they deserve before they disappear.
So I'm just waiting till we get up to the magic number before we start getting into our discussions for tonight. As I said, I will have a guest on. They won't be on with us for the entire program, just to explain the new app that is out and give us some indication of how the app works and that sort of thing. Eh? Nice, yeah.
Give me flowers before I dead. Don't wait till I come. You say I was nice like Father Ed. Just give me flowers before I
Also remember, folks, the hurricane season has started. Eh? Yeah, as of yesterday, yeah, the hurricane season started. And you know, activity out in it's already started to ramp up. You understand, yeah? So make sure that you get your items, what you need, and so on. Eh?
Will you feed me?
I know my good friends there on the spot. I know they have something coming up on Saturday together, I think, which is Andals and Budget Foods and so on. If I were you and I got the chance, I'd pass down. No, I'm not advertising for them. They ain't paying me to advertise. I'm telling you, because it's a location, you may be able to get some of the things in case you need stuff for your hurricane kit. Yeah?
You could feed me, or you could wait till I starve to death.
And plus, on the spot is Mariel Solia.
You must stop the damn disrespect. The ordinary people like me and you could be heroes too.
So you could head on. I think they start somewhere around 8, or is it 8? I think they start on Saturday. So you could pass in on the spot on Woodlands there. And they've got sale. I think it's a battle of the sales who could go lower on different prices and so. So they have food stuff and different items that you could get. Make a look at pass through. If you have money, because we know what happening these days, and when you have it, you have to spend it smart, right?
Give me flowers before I die. No procrastinating, and don't even say I dread.
Let me say goodnight to the other talk show hosts and radio personalities who listen on a nightly basis as well. We say a special, glorious Grenadian goodnight to each and every one of you. And the folks from different newsrooms that listen as well, we say a special goodnight to you as well. And we hope all of you are having a wonderful night. As I said, the hurricane season is coming. Make sure you have your hurricane kit ready.
For this carnival is pure righteousness.
It's always good to try and have a first aid kit, but not just have a first aid kit. Know how to use a first aid kit, huh? What do you do if a family member is having a heart attack? What do you do if a family member is choking? What do you do if a family member has a serious cut? Do you just grab them and run to the hospital, or do you try and stop the bleeding on the way to the hospital, and how do you try and stop the bleeding? All those sort of things, eh? And these days you have the University of YouTube, in case you don't get the chance to go to the Red Cross and or the St. John Ambulance Brigade and do training and so on. You have the University of YouTube, eh? Some people only using the social media to go and create confusion and quarrel and all kind of thing, yeah? And there's so much that you can learn on those apps, yeah? The life that might be saved might be your own, you know. Yeah, so yeah, use it wisely now.
No one can give satisfaction.
We're spending time cussing people and all sort of thing. We don't spend time cussing people here. We speak about issues and we bring them out, which reminds me that if they think that we're dropping the Nylon issue, we are not. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, what is supposed to take place has not yet taken place. Up to now has not taken place. We've heard former Attorney General Cadgington Hood speak on that issue and simply saying that, yeah, they going to know what had to be done in the order that it had to be done, as far as we know, still has not been done and needs to be done. Because you want to make sure that the processes are done in the proper manner, so that if at the end of the day there is an individual who has to face the courts, that they cannot use the process that took place to get them to the courts and say that the process was faulty, or that there were different aspects of the process that should not have occurred or did not occur in the order they were supposed to occur, or who was supposed to do A and B instead did E, and they didn't even do C and D. So we have to make sure that what has to be done is done properly. So once again, and I say a special good night to Nylon's mom. I know she has not been well for the past couple of days and so on. And I'm not sure if you're listening from where you are, because I know where you are. But I hope that you feel a lot better and that everything clears up and you're okay and good to go. Yeah? As soon as you start to speak out, you know, starts to get ill and different things like that. So our prayers continue with her. Nice? Yeah, our prayers continue. Our prayers continue with Nylon's mom. And his whole family, his entire his siblings, everybody, the aunts, the uncles who I meet from time to time, everybody. Our prayers continue with all of you. And continue the fight, eh? He ain't leaving that so. No. No suspicious death ain't being left alone just so. Recently as well, we saw in relation to the Andrew Frederick matter, that is the young man that was found dead in the building there in Lansapine. I think it was the second or third day of the year or somewhere there he was found dead in that apartment. And the family are concerned regarding how that matter is being dealt with. And we do hope that some movement takes place regarding that. I saw just last week, I believe it is, I saw an article out of the UK where different individuals have been asking questions regarding what I just find a man in a place. The place, from what I've heard, was sort of ransacked and that sort of thing. The man was dead inside there, etc. And with all of that, you're saying that, I mean, come on, no.
No one can give satisfaction.
Man sly.
No one can give satisfaction.
Hail the eye, Rasta. And let me say a special good night to my listeners out there in Mama Khan. Hail the eye. Hope every one of you are having a wonderful night tonight. Restful and relaxed, eh? And folks, when I think of Mama Khan, one of the things I always remember was in her period as the Member of Parliament for St. Andrew Southeast. Now, prior to that, prior to 2008, the New National Party started the process of building a community center in Mama Khan. They started the process. I have the photos of the foundation. So nobody can tell me what I'm saying is a lie, because I can prove what I'm saying. I always tell all you I can prove what I'm saying. So I've got the photos of the original foundation that was left like that. between 2008 and 2013, and then the Honorable Emlyn Pear became the Member of Parliament for St. Andrew South East. And she ensured that in short order, just a couple of years, that there was a community center there for the people of Mamakan, yeah?
Satisfaction, Jaja alone, Jaja alone. No one can give satisfaction, Jaja alone.
And along with that community center, they had, I think they had drumming classes there. They had computer classes where the children could have gone and learn computers and do the homework and that sort of thing. Ask the question of anybody from Mamakan, what has happened to that community center since then? Ask them if somebody didn't break the door right after election and take over community center. Ask them, where are the thousands of dollars worth of computers that were placed there for the use of the people of Mamakan and surrounding areas? Hey, good night to Costa Rica. One of the listeners in Costa Rica just messaged, yeah?
No one can give satisfaction, Jaja alone, Jaja alone.
So good night to you in Costa Rica.
Jaja alone, Jaja alone.
They said they're getting us loud and clear, yeah? But ask yourself, what happened to the computers? And you see, this isn't the first time, eh? Because NNP builds, NDC destroys. That is the common theme that you could pick up over the years of consecutive NDC administrations. This is the third NDC administration, and it's the third time this sort of thing is happening. I remember prior to 2008 as well, there was a sewing program. We had parenting program. I hear the Prime Minister speaking about parenting program like if there is something new. I went to graduation ceremonies in St. Mark in parenting program. They could ask Mr. George, what's his name again? George Philip. Ask George Philip about parenting program in St. Mark. Yeah? There was parenting program in St. John. I myself attended the graduation ceremony of the parenting program in St. Mark. And all of this was prior to the 2008 general election. We're not even talking about afterwards. I remember going up there in Cloget for the closing ceremony and award certificate, when they were awarding certificates and so in the parenting program, where the ladies learned to do craft and so on. And I remember Cloget especially because it was not just ladies that did the parenting program. There was a young father that did the parenting program too, because they taught you things that people might think everybody know, like how to hold a child properly, how to bathe them, how to feed them, how to care for a child, but they also teach you other things, like a skill and all of that. And that young man was in that parenting class. And I have pictures to prove that too. So let them say that I lie and they are the ones that come up with parenting program as though it's something new. And there were others. There was this sewing program that was taking place, and that one was the hurtful one, because there was a sewing program that was taking place. And I remember going to Mamakan's. They didn't have the community center, of course, that was being built. And I remember going to Mamakan's and going up there where the ladies were showing off all of the things they were sewing. And I remember speaking with some of the ladies up there. I ain't gonna call name, but they know who they are. I remember speaking with some of the ladies up there, and they were so excited because they were saying that, hey, we can come together as a cooperative now. We have the sewing machines. We can come together as a cooperative, and we don't have to buy our children's school uniform again. We can now sew our children's school uniform, and we could even sew school uniform for other people. So we could come together as a cooperative and sew school uniforms for other people. And that program was replicated in Telescope. Telescope people, am I lying? Telescope people, am I telling an untruth? It was replicated in Telescope. I know because I went there and see it. I used to be all over the place. So I went there and I see it too. I could point out some of the people who was in that program. And there was also one taking place in St. Patrick. You know what they did when they came in 2008? They take all the sewing machines from St. Patrick, Telescope, Mamakan, and wherever else it probably had one or two, and they dump them in a corner in the youth center and leave them to rot and rust. Leave them to rot and rust. That is what they did. They didn't say, well, this program is a good program, let us continue. They didn't say, okay, let us find a mechanism to give these machines to these ladies. Let them go home with it. You go write it off. No, they take it and put it. Not even that, what they could have given them, the ladies could have used that and make money to take care of themselves and their family. So that when the husband put down $10, they could have put down 10 too. Instead of giving that sort of independence to these women. And I can't remember if it had any men involved. I can't remember seeing any men in Telescope or in Mamacan. Probably St. Patrick might have had one or two. But instead of giving that kind of independence to these people, what they did is they take these machines and they dump them down in the youth center to rust and spoil. That is what they did with them. I think they find them somewhere behind the stage or somewhere. We end up finding them when we came back into office. Yeah? That is the attitude of the NDC administration. You build, they destroy. So when you go and you open in St. Mark a center and you say that center is for the young people to be able to come in and we're going to help them set up this small business and we're going to help them do whatever it is that they need to do. We're going to utilize that. No, you know what they did? They come, they close it down. So they didn't care about the young people at St. Mark. Because in their mind, them young people in St. Mark go vote NNP anyway. So they close it down. But that was also for the young people of St. John. That right now, the fisherman who was down there, that say, listen, I need some safety equipment when I'm going down out to sea. Because I don't want to go out to sea. And same way that we have some families right now. Every time the phone ring, their heart jump. Because they're waiting, they're hoping to get news of their family members that have gone out to sea. And up to now, they can't hear any word from them. Yeah? And you have fishermen who would have liked to get safety equipment, young fishermen that would have been able to do that, whether it's through the Ministry of Youth itself or the GDB or to some credit union or a commercial bank. They would have been able to go and get that sort of funding. And that is what the Ministry of Youth had set up that center in St. Mark to provide the opportunity to let them know, one, where the opportunity, where the money is so that you could go and get the money. Two, how to get the money. And three, how to use the money properly to make back money. This administration thought that was too good for young people. And saying it so you young people could hear. This administration thought that that was too good for you. So they closed that center down. In St. David, in Beaton, and all you know, I know Beaton well, and Beaton people, in Beaton, they set up the community center there to be another one where they're having that sort of thing. Now, they just go in and register people and all kind of thing there. That was supposed to be a hub that young people in all parts of St. David could have gone there and could have gotten whatever information they had to get in order to set up a small business. The young farmers, the fellas who getting up early in the morning before the cock crow and the sunrise and going out into the farm, young fellas that would have been able to go there and get some funding. So whether it was irrigation and they needed to get the pump or they needed to get the lines to be able to irrigate the field because the sun hot outside and they wanted to be able to provide fruits and vegetables still. Or whether it was to get the other implements or to get the seedlings, or to get the fertilizer, that at least they would have been able to go there and they would have been told this is where the money is and this is how we can help you. That through the GIDC, you will be able to get a duty-free vehicle as a young farmer. They want them to know that, but they're making sure they get the duty-free vehicle. They get one and some of them gone back and get two duty-free vehicles. Some of them have on order right now the newest duty-free vehicle. But they're not going to the young farmers and tell them, unless they take it out. But I know during our period that there was the concession that you could get through the Grenada Industrial Development Corporation, GIDC. As a young farmer, you could have gotten 100% duty-free concession on a vehicle as a young farmer once the vehicle is for farming. So no, you can't go and get any bad right to go and drag race. It had to be a vehicle that you're using for the farm. So a 4x4 vehicle or whatever it is for agriculture. They make sure they get the duty-free concession, but they ain't telling the young farmers that. So the place that's supposed to open in St. David, nada. The one in St. Mark, close it down. And now we're hearing all kind of things about the youth center itself as well. And these are the same people that right now are hanging their hats on the hope of getting the young people and the diaspora to vote for them. So they're running every 2 minutes. But I have a question to ask the Prime Minister. I've been looking at the government gazette for the past few months. I know I cannot take the call there. Partners, I can't take that call there. They go call me. Yeah. For the past few months, I've been looking at the government gazette. And the problem that I have there is that when you look at the government gazette, you're supposed to see which government ministers. Okay, no, you keep quiet, Dave. Watch. Yeah. You're supposed to know when the Prime Minister travels, who is holding the office of Prime Minister is supposed to be gazetted. It is supposed to be placed in the gazette. That has not been done for an extended period of time right now. Let me say it now, so I'll go do it Friday. There has been no gazetting. And not only the Prime Minister, other government ministers have been traveling. And there has been no gazetting. Madam Governor General, this is a legal requirement. This is not something that Shalon saying do because people just feel to do it. This is a legal requirement that when the Prime Minister or any minister travels, therefore they're out of the state, another minister is supposed to hold that portfolio in an acting capacity. And that fact has to be published in the government gazette. But they're afraid to publish it in the government gazette because people like me going to show you all how much times they were out of the country and be able to add up how much days they were out of the country. But don't worry, still have people like Justin P. out, they can tell all of that, you know. They have their means of doing it. My means of doing it is the government gazette. But they ain't putting them kind of information inside. They only put in this possessory title, and a set of thing from the Prime Minister's thing there, the Prime Minister's law firm, where they're doing these copyright. Yeah, you know, like for instance, if Libby's or whoever, they're going to copyright their thing in Grenada, they're going to trademark their item. So I said that trademark. Yeah, it must be done. We have no problem with that. Put the other information in the gazette that's supposed to be there too. It is a legal requirement that that information is contained in the gazette so each and every Grenadian knows who is their Prime Minister at any particular point in time. It is supposed to state that so and so has traveled on whatever business and so on, and due to that, this person is holding that portfolio. But all you ain't doing that. Yeah, all you ain't doing that. And folks, while I'm talking, I'm just double checking the Zoom to see when the individual that I am supposed to have on comes on. I hope that they do come on. Let me see. No, you have to expand. You can't do me that. You have to expand and them kind of thing. Nice. Yeah. But that is the way that this government operates. They operate in an illegal manner. Look. And we have to keep reminding you of these things. We have to keep reminding you of these things. Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, when he was leader of the opposition, posed some questions to the government. He asked them about the cost of the 50th anniversary of independence. That was in 2024. We in 2026. These people never answered the question. Up to this day, they never answered the question. They were asked about the salaries of the people. Who are the people and the salaries of the people who formed the committee itself, not the committee, the secretariat. You got some of that information. Yeah? You got some of that information. But it's still waiting. We're still waiting on the other information regarding that. And I think we may have the individual on with us. Let me just test my audio there and see if I'm getting them. Hello, good night. Hello.
Good night.
Hi, good night. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Okay,
How are you doing?
I'm quite fine, and you're live with us, sir.
Yes, I don't know. I probably
not-
joined meetings a little bit early, so
Yeah, now if you're early, we go in one time, man. We ain't sticking. I haven't brought you. Your audio is coming through, but I haven't brought you up on video yet. And tonight I wanted to speak to you about the new National Party app, and I wanted you to give us some information. First, you can introduce yourself, and then give us some information regarding the app. So, first of all, everybody listening, everybody just heard your voice one day, but who's that man? So, give us a little bit about who you are, sir.
So my name is Philip James. I am out of the United States. I am a Caribbean national that went to the United States on a tennis scholarship and computer science. When I went to school, I had never touched a computer before in my life, so it was like, But since then, I've worked for the biggest corporations in America. Mm-hmm. And I am disillusioned with America after the election of Donald Trump, the second election. So I need to bring the enormous skills that I have learned back to my people and make us better. Yes. So this is the intro, the beginning of that, because what I learn, I can teach, and we can really become a tech powerhouse if we, invest in our youth and teach them the skills that American youth readily have at their fingertips.
Mm-hmm. Now, the NNP app. We heard the NNP. We heard of the NNP app, the new National Party app. It was announced on Sunday, but a lot of folks probably missed it and they're not too sure. I don't know if you're able to do a demonstration from your end. I can't do it from this end, but if you're able to do...
I can do a screen share and show it to everybody. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want to start that now or you need permission from my end.
I think it says request permission, yes.
Okay, well, you're good to go. Yeah. So I just gave you permission so that you can go ahead and show, because I think folks need to know exactly what it is that we're speaking about here. And folks, it's an app that you'll be able to use on your device, and you will be able to at least, there are different things, and Philip will be able to explain that to you in a short while. So when you're ready, just let us know so that we could bring you up. I still haven't brought you up yet, so that we could bring you up so that you can go ahead and show.
I have just shared my screen.
Okay, so let me bring you up here. Nice, and bring you across. Nice, beautiful. Go right ahead, sir.
So this is the app. It has, I like to think that not everyone has a computer, but everybody has a phone. So we should gear our technology towards that. And so we have put that same NNP Grenada in an app form. So it's a companion app, because now we are in the voters' pockets. We can message them. The voters can donate directly from our application. We can do a call to action, surveys. There is a number of things that we can do over the top that a modern election should be able to benefit from in this format. If you can see my screen, I will click on the candidates. This is a soft phone I have showing there. A soft phone is a phone that people use to develop applications in. So it might be a little bit slow, but it allows us to show stuff before it becomes on a hardened device. So now you can see all the candidates load. These are all the candidates. You can go through there. You can actually click on a bio, and it will bring up the specific candidate's bio.
We're not seeing it on our end yet.
Oh, you're not?
No, we're not seeing it on our end yet. I don't know. As you said, it would load a little slow. but for some reason we're not seeing it on our end yet.
Okay, it is definitely sharing. I'm definitely sharing it.
Yeah, I'm seeing you moving the mouse around, but and I'm seeing the phone itself, but I've not seen the. I'm seeing candidates, leadership, platform, and yeah, I'm seeing the
Okay.
but I'm not seeing the candidates, etc.
Okay, so I think you've seen the wrong phone. I have.
Okay.
What about now?
Yeah, now we're seeing the right phone.
Okay, so all right, I have multiple screens here. That's why I thought I was sharing one particular screen. So yes, but I have two soft phones. I have an iPhone and a Android phone. So that's why you've seen two different phones.
Okay.
The platform is created for both, but we haven't released the Android one just yet because I am personally having a little bit of difficulties there. But it should be released within the next coming days because it's all done. It's very difficult to get past the goalies, Apple and Android and Google. So that's what we're doing here. As you can tell, the candidates are loaded. Let's go up to the very top as give me a second, pull it all of them down. Then you can click on Emmeline and you can get a full bio what she has done. Go through every single candidate, every single person, see their personal bios. You can go back here and then you can go to the leadership. I've just been working on the leadership because they have new persons that are
onto the executive
leadership role. Yes. So the full executive is something that's brand new. I have just pushed that out to Apple. And so the photos are not completely available yet. That is a new feature that's coming. By this weekend, there will be a number of new features because as we put stuff out, people are requesting different pieces. And so I'm constantly working on it. Software never sleeps. If it did, Microsoft wouldn't be a business still today continuously doing software. This is the platform. And it's a platform page where the NNP has all their different platform goals. And we can go back and we can go to news. This is the section where we will be sending people call to actions around events that are happening, news events, get out the vote activity, polls, anything that we want to update our people, supporters on. There is a vote section to tell you how to give you information on how to register to vote, what you need, what the process is. And then there is a contact area where you can contact us, send us information, all our social media platforms. Then we can go back down to our focus area, the areas that the party wants to focus on: cost of living, youth, jobs, healthcare, infrastructure. And so and then we have a little menu system where there's more stuff available. There's a donation window right here. So we talk about the different supports. There's several support levels. You can get a recurring donation. You can do a one-time donation. And it takes you out to Stripe. So your credit card information is protected. And you are protected in terms of credit card transactions and the such. I am currently working on the membership component. I just spoke to people within the NNP where we are going to fully create a digital membership component within the donation Get Active, so that people can become members through the app and pull up a digital membership card so we're in talks about that feature right now and how they want to lay it out. So this app will become, to some extent, the focal point for going forward for the NNP supporter in terms of us communicating with them, sharing events and news and any feedback that they might have. That's my little spiel.
Okay.
Any questions?
So it will soon be available for Android, you mentioned.
That is correct. Correct.
And
That is correct.
go ahead. Yeah. No, go ahead. Yeah.
It's in the Android store. The Apple guys approved it much faster than the Android people. So that's these things need to, they're scrutinized right now, very very that make sure everything's all right before they allow them on devices, and they're currently we're currently in the process with the Android, and it may be like a week or so. It just takes some time. Remember, there's thousands of apps out there, and hundreds, thousands of apps from all different countries, and so I was surprised how fast Apple got through ours, but Google is taking a little bit longer than we expected. I expected Google to be done last week, but they haven't come back with anything yet. So that's kind of where we are right now.
Okay, wonderful. So just letting folks know, this is the new app by the New National Party. You'll be able to utilize this app to get in touch with the party. Will folks be able to utilize this as well? For instance, if they want to get in touch with a particular candidate or MP, they'll be able to message them directly.
Not in its current state. The messages go one way. There is the facility to go in both directions. That requires additional approval from the app guys. When we created the app, we went through the lowest common denominator, because the more features you have, is the more things that they can look at and say, don't do this, don't do that. Mm-hmm. So the messaging component, if you realize when you bring the app up, you have to do an allow us to send you messages, or else you just cannot send messages. There's all these different restrictions that are around apps that you really need to, get vetted by the gatekeepers, as I would say. So yes, this is a very tedious process, and it's two separate platforms. It requires two separate sets of development effort. So yeah.
All right. Anything else that you want to tell us about the app? Because as I say, I know it was just a short one I'm having you on for. That's a long time tonight. But I just wanted people to know that we have the app, that they can download it from they'll be able to download it from the Google Play Store by next week, roughly.
Well, yes, I wouldn't commit 100% to that. I am trying my best to it's like a black box. You throw it out there and it comes back at you. You don't know when it's going to come back. Mm-hmm. I am trying my best to push as much on the Google guys, sending them emails. But the Apple, Apple just approved the latest version of the app, which is 1.0.10. So that's out there. The membership component, that's going to be worked on this coming weekend. So I hope to have that version of the app. And once I do one version, I simultaneously sync it. So once the Android version come out, it will be at the highest level, all the features.
Wonderful.
So yes, and then you just raised a good point of bilateral communication between us and the candidate. That might be a feature that I will have to build in, and potentially have it so that people can communicate directly with their representatives. It's just a good idea. I mean,
because I think lots of folks they want to do that. As it is now, they may try to use Facebook and so on. I need to let folks know it's not always the MP or the candidate that always alone has control of the Facebook. Sometimes there are other people that would have to read the messages and pass them on, and so. But there could be a direct channel here straight to that member so that they can see the messages and so from different people.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. That is definitely possible. Yes. I always say yes.
All right. All right.
You can ask Emily. Emily asked me to jump over a lot of bridges, and I just said, okay, yes. Not knowing sometimes how I get there, but but like one of my bosses said to me, we don't care about your problems, we care about your solutions. And Emily only cares about my solutions. So I am trying to do my best to get her elected.
I'll say this as well, though. When we look at other Caribbean territories, I can't say that I've heard of many others using apps. They may have apps that they use for their internal party work, but as an
Yeah.
app that you download that all of the membership can utilize and so on in the way that this one has been done, it's really one of the first times I'm hearing about that itself. Websites,
Absolutely.
yes. Before, all political parties have a website, and most parties, they have the website, and as soon as election done, they forget that website. In fact, some instances, some parties, every election, they have to build a new website. So we have that. But these days, as we know, things are going more the direction of apps and that direct interaction through apps with the voter. And I'm glad to see that the new National Party is leading the way in that technology, not only in Grenada, but regionally as well.
Absolutely. I don't believe any other Caribbean island has done, or any political party in the region has done something similar. Because this is part of their platform and they want to be forward looking, because the goal is to take this to the government. So now you are looking forward. So your voters now have direct access to all your government departments, and it becomes visible to them to see what, they can make requests. Because not everybody can come from where they are, go to this ministry. Maybe it can be done remotely, because everybody has a phone, like I said, not everybody has a pen. So the goal is to become closer with the voter, and because they're the taxpayer, because that makes the government more efficient, because you can hear from your people their requests, because like I said, they're taxpayers after all. So the new National Party is looking in that direction to become a much more inclusive. Anybody can request something. And like I said, I don't say no. I only say yes.
All right, my brother. I want to thank you so very much for taking the time to be here with us tonight. And it was, I know a lot of folks may not have known before that there was the app. Now they know of it. And don't worry, folks, we're going to provide the QR code at different locations. You'll be able to scan it and you'll be able to go to directly and download the app and all of that. We will ensure that you're able to get it. Yes, indeed. So, brother, we'd like to thank you so very much for being on with us tonight. And indeed, I don't know if you have any parting words you'd like to leave with the Grenadian public.
We need to move forward, and we need to move forward fast. And I think that the NNP is that vehicle for getting Grenada ahead of the rest of the Caribbean. And this is a really time-changing time for you guys. So I'm here. I'm a Caribbean national, and I want to help.
Yes, indeed.
So that's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you so very much, my brother. And you do enjoy the rest of your night tonight and the rest of your week.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Good. Thank you. Yes, indeed, folks. So you got some information there about the NNP app. Yeah, you got some information there about the NNP app. So it is an app you would be able to utilize. And you see, we tell the man, yeah, you want to be able to talk to people too. Yeah, you want to be able to message Brother Cox and say, Brother Cox, don't worry, you have my full support. Yeah, you want to be able to message Sister Emlyn Pear, and you want to be able to say to her, Sister Emlyn Pear, we're praying for you. Yeah, but you also want to let them know what is going on in your area, in your community, what the party needs to be aware of. It will be a good and direct way for you to be able to interact with the new National Party, but also to get information, direct information about the various candidates that the party is putting forward. Yeah, even though you're seeing them, even though you're knowing them and that sort of thing, to get additional information on them from the new National Party directly. And folks, it is now 9 o'clock, and I want to go back on a particular issue here. Now, as you all know, on Friday evening, on the Talking Points program, my good friend, Ryan Smith, who I've known for the past, run and we're since 2006, 2005, 2006. I've known Ryan, yeah? as a young man, as a farmer, first of all, as a farmer, as one of the young men. So don't think that Royan, this is the first time Royan talking or just come out and so on. I've known Royan since the year 2005 is when I first met him. Yeah? As a young farmer up there in Mardi Gras, on the land, doing organic farming and that sort of thing, and encouraging other young people to farm. Many of you who attended Ministry of Youth functions would remember the videos with him and so on. I do have the videos, we'll play it later this week, of him when he was speaking. Also, many of you may not know of him interacting with young men in trouble. So young men who got in trouble with the law, he was one of the people that would come in and speak with them and say, nah, that direction, that is not the direction to head. This is a proper direction to go. Going on the blocks in different communities with the Badness Outer Style program. When we used to, as the Ministry of Youth, we would go to different communities and speak with young men and speak with young ladies, because not the young men alone that was getting in trouble. Speak with the young ladies and get them involved in positive activities and so on. Royan was one of the young men doing that as well. There was an incident, politically motivated, after the 2008 general election that caused him to stop farming. It's not my business to tell all you. When Royan ready, go tell all you about that particular one. But it was directly politically motivated because the person who attacked him told him it was politically motivated. Back at that point in time. Said person who attacked him is now sitting down in Richmond Hill prison on a murder charge. The same person that attacked that same Royan Smith, talking politics. Soon as Royan turned his back, they attack him. And that person is now sitting in Richmond Hill prison on a murder charge. I can't remember how much years they give them, but a lot of years they gave that individual from Mardi Gras. Yeah? Now you have him still trying to be positive, even after all of these things, still trying to be positive. And doing his own small business. He get the horses and so on. And he take over the horse thing and he start to deal with the horses and so. And providing a service. And then to see this sort of thing being done to him. So you had the horses, they were killed on the port itself. The same horses that they say could transmit things to people, to other humans. The same horses they say could transmit things to other animals. The two horses were shot right where the Carriacou boat does park up, they down on the end towards the sea. Well, like if you're going out. So they feel, I don't know, that is right where they shoot the two horses in the crate right there. Well, 4 horses because each of them was pregnant. So they killed the horses right there. They were shot right there. Then they were transported all the way up to Maribo, where they brought in the butcher to chop them up in Maribo. The same 2 horses they say that could infect people. The same 2 horses they say could affect other animals and so. You bring them to the Maribo abattoir. You ain't take it in the middle of the bush somewhere and dig a pit and burn it or whatever, you know. You bring it in Maribo in the abattoir. You chop it up there in the abattoir where the meat coming out from. You chop it up there. And then they burn it in the incinerator up there. They use the incinerator in Maribo to burn it. So they transport it all the way from the south of the island up to Maribo. The same animals they say could infect other things. And you see a lot of people who don't know what they're speaking about saying a lot of nonsense out there. But I want to play something for you all tonight. Yeah? And this is from an individual I often watch his. He has a YouTube channel that I do view on a regular basis because whether it is that he's going out there catching mongoose in different parts of Grenada, or he's seeing about animals for people here in Grenada, or he's gone on some adventure. I think there was one where he went out on one of those islands between Grenada and Carriacou and was checking on the wildlife in those places. A local Grenadian, a well-educated Grenadian. He has studied veterinary science. He is a doctor of veterinary sciences. And I will play his take on what has happened to Royan Smith right now for you.
Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Carter. Let's take a few minutes to ask a few things. We all saw the situation with the horseman. We saw the videos on Facebook. We saw the interview. Before going forward, let me ask a few questions. Now, before asking these questions, I'll tell you this. Babesia has multiple strains. most of which are treatable, most of which are species specific, which means there's some for dogs, some for donkeys, some for horses, some for livestock. Some are not treatable, which means it stays in the animal bodies forever. However, Babesia is transmitted by ticks. It's a tick-borne infection. Some can be zoonotic, which means it can go between humans and animals, animals to humans, but it is a tick-borne infection, so it's not transmitted if a tick did not bite you. Let's put that as the facts. Another fact is there have been scientific publication, I may put it under this post, documenting Babesia in Grenada, in livestock. There was some in dogs and cats, although that has been hush-hush. Now here are a few questions we should ask. Why were the horses not quarantined? We all know of the hundreds of sheep and goat that came in recently. They're probably still in quarantine. They were quarantined for almost a year at least. They were not tested before coming. They were not treated. I think it took months where they were here in Grenada before tests were done to see that they also had resistance parasites. So why were they not destroyed on the port? How could they have been quarantined for such a long period, yet these horses were destroyed within 48 hours? That's the question. Why couldn't we treat? I spoke to the farmer. I know of many Babesia. Dr. Carter Vet carries the treatment for Babesia. I would only assume the local university do. So even if the vets at the ministry did not have the medication or was not even competent enough to know that it could be treated, why did they not follow the lead of the veterinarian from the country where the horse came from on the treatment protocol for these horses? Why were they not quarantined and treated, or at minimum tested to see if they had a strain that treatment was possible for? The next question we need to ask is, who were the experts consulted? Now the two individuals, there were two veterinarians mentioned in the post. They work for the Ministry of Agriculture. They've always worked for the Ministry of Agriculture. They also work for the local university. What are their expertise and qualification in equine medication? How did they get those jobs? Who did they consult as the expert? I'm no equine expert. I've been a veterinarian for 12 years. I'm no equine expert. I've worked with hundreds of horses in multiple countries, even the country where I am right now. And if it's a horse matter at hand, I would also consult with an equine expert before making such a decision as to terminate two horses. Terminate them. Who were the expert consulted? What are their responses? Because most of the Babesia are treatable, and a treatment protocol was advised. This goes on to the second question. Why did the farmer have to wait so long to get his permits? The initial tests done on these horses, they were negative for Babesia. However, there was slow response from the ministries. The permits were not issued, and the horse had to wait months before he can get an import permit to come into Grenada. And I've experienced that myself trying to bring in animals for my clients. Why do we have to wait so long to get import permits as Grenadians to bring animals into Grenada, sometimes to even return animals to Grenada that left Grenada, if they have already met all the requirements? Why is there such a long wait period in the ministry? Are they overrun with work, or do they just not care? Ask yourself that question. No. People are asking, why weren't the horse destroyed in a more humane way, like to give an injection? Shooting a horse is a standard method for euthanasia, internationally accepted. So although it sounds a bit barbaric, shooting the horse is one of the fastest and easiest and most humane way to destroy a horse. An injectable methodology would have been more humane, but maybe they were not the means to do that at that time. As to why, only the ministry can tell you that. As for the animal, if the animal were destroyed because of biosecurity means, what did they do with the carcasses? Were the horse burnt on the port? Did they check the horse thoroughly for ticks? Did they transport them? The only place I can think of an incinerator big enough to destroy a horse, maybe to Maribo. Word on the street is that they were transported to Maribo. So if they left St. George's Harbour because they were so dangerous, why would they travel through the country to Maribo to be destroyed? Why were they not incinerated on the port with probably a fire, a blowtorch or something, or at least charred, so that any possibility of ticks, because remember, Babesia is transmitted by ticks. If there were any possibility of ticks on these animals, it would have also been destroyed. Were they thrown at the dump? Somebody needs to answer these questions. Those are the questions you should be asking. If it was so serious that they had to be destroyed on the port, what did they do with the carcasses? So, Who's compensating the farmer? I think he has a good claim for wrongful death, since that the strain of Babesia most likely could have been treated, or at least a thorough investigation was not done, to my understanding. And if I am incorrect, somebody should come forward with new information. To my understanding, no test was done here in Grenada. I contacted the labs, no test was done here in Grenada. There is no veterinary diagnostic lab active, unless there is in secret and we did not know. Most of the tests goes through the same laboratory in the south. No test was done here for this before these animals were destroyed. There's no reports shown or presented to the farmer by any equine professional or specialist. And the equine specialist who gave the advice was declined. So this is a personal decision. There was some fear mongering as to, so one person even said that disease could kill out everybody in Grenada. That's just fear mongering. Babesia is transmitted by ticks. It's a tick-borne infection. Although some strains are zoonotic, most strains are not. A tick has to bite an infected animal and then bite another animal to infect it, or bite a human in the case of the zoonotic variations, similar as a disease like Lyme disease would, which we have in North America. But there was a dog who tested positive for Lyme disease in Grenada. It was not destroyed. It was a student dog a few years ago. The ministry was aware of this dog. So Lyme disease is zoonotic, easily transmitted among humans. It was not destroyed. It was treated, and it remained in the population. So why were these horses not treated? Why destruction was the first option, when death should most times be the last option? Ask yourself these questions. Also ask, where is the GVMA? Have you heard of the GVMA? The Grenada Veterinary Medical Association. A few years ago, I went to a meeting with a bunch of veterinarians that was employed by the local university, and they claimed of the existence of the Grenada Veterinary Medical Association. Who should have an opinion or authority in cases like this? Where are they? Where were they? Do they still exist? Most of the individual has been terminated from the local university. What are they doing now? Was the GVMA also apply? Who's advising the ministry's vets? I'm aware of the two individuals beyond the local university and the ministry. I'm not aware of any international exposure via employment, not aware of any additional qualifications. Who gave them such authority that they could come amongst themselves and decide that their opinion is the all and end all to end this animal's life? Who's compensating the farmer for his investment? Can they bring life back to these animals? Why were they not quarantined? Why were they not treated? Ask yourself these questions. And before you go, no. Everything in Grenada seems to be politics. And although there is a lot of politically appointed individuals, don't make this about politics. Make this about people. Because it's real people that are being affected by these poor decisions. Ask yourself these questions. Let me hear in the comment. This is not about personal opinion. This is my professional opinion. And if you look at the literature, you will see there's most of the recent publications have collaboration with the local university. If you look all over the internet and social media, you would have seen me running programs which was contracted by the government. So this is not me against them. Let sensible mind prevails. Why weren't other professionals consulted? Why the medication that is readily available in Grenada, why the animals were not treated? Why were they not given the benefit of the doubt to quarantine them, treat them, and then if they don't respond to treatment, then we terminate them? Or even the owner said they were on tick protection. Treat them for ticks. See if they had any ticks. There was no record of any ticks on the horses. Treat them for ticks. A few years ago, 200 cattle came in from another OECS island, riddled with ticks. They got to leave the port alive. These horses came in with a tick-borne infection. There were no ticks recorded on them. They were terminated at the port. Now you ask, is this an abuse of power? Are these personal grievances? I think it's sad that we've reached a state, not just in veterinary medicine in Grenada, where people in the public sector are operating with impunity. There's no accountability, and they do things and make decisions that can affect the livelihood of many other people, as if their say is the say all and end all. And it's a sad direction we're heading in. This man, whether you like him or not, whether you agree with his methods or not, This man runs a niche business. He's the only person you'll see on Grandlands Beach with horseback riding. We claim that tourism is the way forward. We invest money into tourism. Tourists, kids at birthday parties, almost any fun event you see at Montrose, you see these horses there. Why didn't he get the nod? Ask yourself these questions, because we have so much more questions than answers. It's a really sad day for Grenada.
Yes, indeed, folks. So you've heard there from Dr. Carter, what Dr. Carter first name is Kenrick or something, so? Yeah. You've heard from Dr. Carter, his view in relation to this matter. And from what I am hearing, to many it may seem as though this is nothing, but there are regional bodies and so on that have been asking questions about what took place there. They're asking questions in regards to what took place there. We're going to open the phone lines now, because you've heard now, this is not Sheldon talking. I'm not a vet. This is not Sheldon talking. This is a vet who has seen after hundreds of horses in his 12 years. And he doesn't only operate in Grenada. I follow him on YouTube and so on, and on Facebook. I follow his thing where he goes around. He does things in Carriacou. One minute you see him in Carriacou. As I mentioned, he went and he did something. I'm trying to remember the exact thing, with some of the animals on the islands between Grenada and Carriacou. And you see him going and dealing with trapping mongoose and all these things, getting them out, checking them for rabies, doing all these sort of things. So it's not somebody that's speaking there that they hear somebody say something, or they went and they do a Google search or a ChatGPT search on an issue. This is an individual who has studied the area. He has studied. He's a doctor of veterinary sciences. So he's not a nobody. He's a person that understands what he's talking about. Because I see some of them on social media about, if did he let them horse and them come in here, did I wipe out everybody? All human would have dead. Did I wipe out everybody? And all this sort of nonsense and scaremongering. As he called it, scaremongering. All that sort of nonsense to try and cover the wicked and despicable act that was done. Because there's no other way to describe it, because there were options regarding that. There were options. They still have some pig in quarantine up to now. No, not quarantine point. They still have some pigs in quarantine right now that came in. Again, tell me, Alina. They still have animals in quarantine that came into the country. And you're telling me that 2 pregnant horses, just because of who it belonged to, you couldn't quarantine them? And the individual had place to quarantine them. They have place to quarantine them. But they were not given the benefit of the doubt. It's just kill them one time. He was getting the medication because Dr. Carter isn't here. So he probably didn't even know he could have got the medication from Dr. Carter. But it is available. So all they had to do was get it. And I'm sure the other vets would know that that medication was available through Dr. Carter. I'm sure they would know that. They would have known, the same ones who say kill it. They would have known that that medication was available. But again, they go ahead and they do this wicked act. Is it simply because of who the individual is? Because you don't see him coming in. I see one of the idiots they have there on social media, and I'm glad they're doing what they're doing, you know. Because one of the things I'm glad about with how these NDC people are operating, those mouthpieces that are out there feel they're helping their party. I am glad, because I have many friends who are supporters of the NDC. And many of them have said that they're not voting due to the kind of behavior and actions they're seeing. The government, they don't fret them already. But when they see how some of these social media bargeons getting on, that they can go out there and put out posts about if that is not the same guy with the horses that walking in with Emlyn Pierre. So what the hell? So he is a Grenadian. He don't have a right to support whichever political party he wants to support. He don't have a right to be friends with people within the political party. I'm trying to understand if people no longer have the constitutional right to of association here in Grenada again. Because we heard the Prime Minister, We heard when he said the reason NNP get in and NDC don't get in is because them don't know who is the real NDC. And notice he said real NDC, eh? Not just that you is NDC, you have to be the real NDC. So it still have classes and different levels of NDC. And if you as an NDC supporter and you're not at the level that they want you to be, you ain't getting either. So who is the real NDC? So to them, they have real NDC and they have fake NDC. That's why I'm saying to some of you, although the majority of you come back already, but those of you who wandered far away from home and last election, you took your good self. Yes, you're still good. Your good self. And you went and cast a ballot for the present administration. That we all pray that you do not make that mistake ever again in life. To go and decide you're going and vote for NDC administration like this again. This is the worst government that has ever passed through the state of Grenada. Ever. Worse. Worst government. Folks, we have now entered into the rainy season. It means, therefore, that you're going to start to see some very rainy days in the state of Grenada until you get that little short, as I say, we call it in Trinidad, Piti Carem, that short dry season that you get during August or so, and then it's back to rains again. Yeah? They do the River Road project. Did they even attempt to start the River Road project? Is it that they're waiting for people with money to come and do the River Road project and then say, well, don't worry, you'll go get paid? Is it that the situation? But we know they don't care about the people at River Road. We know they don't care about people that have to utilize those areas. We know that. But still, at least they could have done the project. But they ain't looking to do them kind of thing, man. Nah, they ain't looking to do that now, ain't it? 421-7279 and 440-7377. You got to call us on the WhatsApp on both of those numbers, yeah? So you could call us on WhatsApp on 440-7377 and on WhatsApp on 421-7279.
Like in the days when Christ was
Let me say a special good night to Miss Winifred Hall.
to endure.
Hope you're having a wonderful night, my dear. And Rahim Hall, let me say good night to you as well. So Winifred and Rahim, good night to both of you. And my good listeners up in Ford, yeah, good night to the crew up in Ford.
You will always find a Judas Iscariot, a certain friend in me who will prove to be a deceiver. Whose mission?
Once again, you gotta call me on the WhatsApp. I see somebody trying to call me direct. You can't call me direct on that number. You gotta call me on the WhatsApp.
On the armor is what you deserve. Put on the armor of love. And wearing the breastplate of
If there was wearing the armor of love, believe me, they would not have done that despicable act, yeah?
with the armor of love, the gift of life we ought to preserve with the armor of love.
And I hope you all recognize and realize that there are certain news stations in Grenada that stay away from these stories. Any story that casts a negative light, yes, UGBN, that is what I'm talking about. Any story that casts a bad light on the government, they duck in it, yeah? I'm saying it as it is tonight. I ain't hiding it for nobody. That is what's going on with all you.
Eyes you. Just stay humble, be as vigilant as you could be.
Right now, you all have gotten to the stage that I'm starting to consider you all no longer, and I'm not blaming the young journalists. Well, they're not even journalists yet. They now start training. They get a walk. They are not yet journalists. Yet they are news reporters. They are not yet journalists. And I'm not even blaming them, because they're supposed to have proper management over them to ensure that proper stories are done and so on. And you have things that have become part of the national conversation that it seems as though you're all afraid to report. You all are operating like GIS 2.0. Well, operate like GIS 2.0. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott and Talking Points family.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, just quite. I give you a little touch on Sunday, but you were such in a crowd we couldn't.
Oh God.
We,
Well, you know,
yeah, I know
something-
this.
you
St.
know
Patrick
something
in
went.
St. Patrick in the house.
Yes, indeed. Joe.
already big up very successful convention on target. I spoke on target yesterday at 12 o'clock, and I spoke of how it was, and I gave the two St. Patrick East and West candidates a special big up to the nation for work well done. Don't manage the whole country affairs, but you know, as the host candidate, they did a very good job. Mm-hmm. So I, again, for those who didn't hear me, I still want to congratulate them. Today, I want to give somebody a chance. Today, I was going to touch the point of division, and I had a little problem with the internet on my program. Mr. Scott, you have one of the most informative program on YouTube. Nobody cannot challenge that. Real information, facts, the truth cannot lie. Now, I was speaking about division. It is the first time. Now, I have been in politics quite a long time, around a long time. I quote the number of different politicians I met with in Trinidad. I happened to spend 7 years and 3 months in Trinidad, and I met with about 4 different political leaders and prime minister in this country. I was even offered a job and all, but I couldn't take the job. Yeah. So I don't just come. So I believe I have the authority to give Grenadians advice, and I always will be doing that. We are divided. First political leader I see in Grenada since 1967 to divide a country. This country is divided. I know when you take the oath as prime minister, you use prime minister for every Grenadian. I never know you use prime minister for a special political party. But I've seen that Grenada has scored a fuss. This present administration scored a fuss in having the first party to divide the people. And they have to know how you stand politically, otherwise you will not be attended to if they have the opportunity to do so. Mm-hmm. This is very, very, very bad. Mr. Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Scott.
I know it goes.
I'm really, really, really disappointed. Grenadian, we in St. Patrick West, we lack of leadership. We have one of the worst parliamentary rep. I cannot don't advocate it. Since 1967, I see candidate come and candidate go because I've been doing that work all my life. And this is the worst. He's a born loser. He neglect the people of St. Patrick West for 3 years and a half. And when he realized that time is coming close, he started going around and asking, what you all want, offering people personal bribery and saying, because of his ministry, he was missing in action. Even NDC people used to be coming to me and ask me, where is our candidate? Where is our representative? We're not seeing this man. We're not hearing him. We're not feeling him. But right now, I could tell you, if he gives someone a tin of corned beef, he want to put it on social media because the time is close. I don't want my people to be full. We deserve better. We have a young gentleman who always with the people. He helped you in the area of sports. He helped you with agriculture advice. Mr. Green is doing a very, very, very good job. And he not yet elected. Well, when he elected himself, he said that he is not there for himself. He is there to serve you, the people. That's why I'm warning St. Patrick people. And that situation about the horse, we know where that's coming from. We know that is politics, pure politics. We don't want to. We just have no other choice. People of St. Patrick, East and West. We want to transform this place. We have two very, very good candidate, East and West. Miss Pierre, I congratulate you for having one of the best team. I have been a member of the NNP family party for 23 years. And this is one of the best team ever put together to run this country. They have what it takes. Miss Pierre won't have no headache. And if anybody wants to know, I haven't got enough time, about Mistress Pierre, better speak to me. I was from the foundation of entering politics. And I could tell you, this lady have what it takes. She passed through a training school and she get a team of class. Grenada. Thanks God for the rescue. And let us embrace it. Let us appreciate what God offers us right now at this time. A team of people that could run this country. A team of people that believe in God. A team of people that have love for the people of this country. They is not there for money. They is not for money. Right now, they is there to help the people. Mr. Scott, I want to give somebody a chance. Thank you. That's my really first call with Talking Point. I will continue to advocate until the flag bust. I thank you for giving me the time to make my comment. I will continue to do so. Thank you very much. Well, you know who it is. Skilly, brother?
Yeah, man.
Right, you know the voice. Okay, good. All right.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah. So you heard about St. Patrick West Day. Yeah? You heard about St. Patrick West Day. You hear about St. Patrick East. The different constituencies will call in and let you know what is going on and so on. So, folks, you can call 421-7279 and 440-7377. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside. And I think we have a caller. Yeah, we have a caller on the line. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night, Sheldon. Good night, Talking Point. So you do?
Hey, I'm good. Right ahead, man.
Yeah, Sheldon. Yeah, I want to endorse that caller 100%. And that is something I've been saying over and over to my circle of friends. Grenada is divided, right? Right now, this thing, the hatred for NNP politicians and the members of the upper house and the lower house, the senators and who have you, this has bypassed them to the NNP supporters and members now. These people, I don't know what it is, but every day I listen to programs and you're hearing the hatred in their voice. And for God, for what? And Sheila, like I keep saying, this is the first time. I mean, I run this thing 20 years, and this is the first time in all my 20 years I run this thing voting that I have seen things and hearing things like this. I mean, imagine somebody will go as far as and say, toughen up. You're working in a hotel, toughen up, and expect to be touched. I mean, when I heard that, I was like, you people normal? Things that like these makes you wonder, like when the NNP was in office, what these people were doing to undermine the NNP. And now I'm seeing it. Because those who are talking today were in position, and very enough, I don't know if Dr. Mitchell wasn't seeing it then, or members of the NNP who was in office them time. But these people, they are coming out now. You know, like Salt and Frog, they're coming out. You've seen them. And they're attacking just regular members. Shall I can't say good morning to Mrs. K on Facebook. The mere minute you say that, they call you all sorts of names. Now, I doesn't banter with nobody on Facebook. I only have about 10 friends. But if I see something that goes the way, Sheldon, I will go scotch out. And once I go scotch out on that person, they either block me or I don't see them again. But we need to stop this thing, and I'm telling you, the rhetoric I'm hearing every day, it is rather amazing. Them men try to close down and still want to close down Real FM. And yet still, I don't know why Mr. Pierre alone, allowing certain elements of apparently the NDC cabal and ilk to call in the conversation.
Boss,
we cannot call no program.
Hold on. Let me tell you something. Mr. Pierre does his program in his way. I would not attack him on how he does his program, nor will I allow anybody to attack him how he does his program. he have his
That
way.
is my opinion.
Yeah, that is your opinion, but he has his way how he do his program. So I just saying, I wouldn't attack him on that. Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm saying is when I hear them mention the close and they say anything, you hear that don't give these people eyes, and that is what amazing to me.
Yeah, well,
right?
we have them. We have them
And
on
lastly-
audio. We have them on audio with the laughing, basically that look they're damaging the station. We have them on audio
Yeah.
and video. Yeah.
So Sheldon, you telling me, if I am working in that station and I have to lose my job because of something like that, how would I feel seeing these people outside on the street? This is my point. They're making the country so divided and so polarized that they don't realize what they are doing. They are affecting lives indirectly. They are affecting livelihoods. And that is what is amazing to me, and they seem to be happy with that. And like I said, lastly, there are two ministers in the government right now. But before they were minister and one after he became minister, he said that we can't eat roads. That's the minister in the south. And then you have one in Karakou saying, if you ever hear me praising any government for any road, put him in the Matters. Why is he not in the Matters yet? Just a question. But anyhow, NPIs, stay focused, loving in all.
All right.
Later, Sheldon.
And the thing is this: people do their program how they see fit. I am not gonna tell anybody how to do their program. If they ask me for advice on something, I would give an advice from my perspective. But every program has its own personality, and Mr. Pierre's personality is that he listening to anybody. He don't care who you be. He listening to anybody, and then you have to give him a chance to respond. That's Mr. Pierre. Me personally, they call here. Hey, you know it's Sheldon you call, right? You know it's talking points you call, right? Okay, since you know that, click. And they're gone. I ain't had time with them. That is me. But that is just my personality and how I deal with them. He has his way where he will say, yeah, talk. Let people hear the stupidness you're talk. And he would give them that opportunity to go ahead and talk. I don't do it. Yeah, I have a different way that I do how I do. Yes. So 421-7279, 421-7279, and 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside. Was it necessary to kill the two horses then and there? What were they trying to protect? If they were trying to protect livestock in Grenada, they took the same two horse carcasses. They put them in the back of a truck and they bring them from on the port in St. George all the way up through the Granitang, all the way going up, where tick could have fall off the horse and all kind of thing all over the place. They bring it all the way up to Maribo and cut them up and burn them up there. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Good night, sir. Good night, sir. How are we doing?
I'm good. How are you doing tonight? Nutmeg State in the place.
Right.
And
Now,
yes, I did get the stuff. So thank you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. All right. The homecoming, that June Grenada homecoming from the diaspora, is that a Grenada thing, or is that NDC project?
It is supposed to be a government of Grenada project, but since you're asking the question, it is plainly obvious to everybody that it's more of an NDC operation, because you have the people that are coming saying they're coming to go and register to vote for NDC.
Well, no. Well, I don't want to get in the voting part. And what I'm going to say now, I want you to put a disclaimer on it, based for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I have always advocated that our Governor General is not acting to the interests of Grenada. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, I have seen their program, the homecoming program, or the agenda, what they have for the days coming, planting nutmeg tree. Well, I don't know, I heard there was some rain in St. George's, but the hottest day of the come, and nutmeg is a country thing. I don't know where they will get water to wet it, but that's something different. They come in and plant spice and everything, and there is a session with the Governor General. Okay, if it's a Grenada thing, that's all fair and good. But likewise, you remember the chief of police was in a meeting with a NDC sign behind him. You remember that? Okay. Do you remember that?
I can't remember that particular one. You had to refresh my memory on that
Yeah,
particular
no,
one.
there was a sign, the chief of police, just around the time when Mr. Pierre got demoted or got let go. Look at your go back in your archives. The chief
I'll have
of
to
police
check.
was standing.
At the point in time, I was not on the island, so I was not aware of everything that was taking place. So I'll have to look back for that one. That one's
Yes.
missed me.
The chief of police was shaking hand with the prime minister, and the back of him was a sign NDC or upright or big up NDC, something like that, and chief of police. That's at the same time when maybe it was in another podcast where the policeman in Guelph was on something with some young officer and so on. Anyway, that is it.
Yeah.
But if for example the governor general is in any program in that homecoming with any background of NDC, that is going to prove my point. She is not acting to the benefit of Grenada. When the opposition leader got sworn in, she didn't even invite her to come and say thanks for dinner. There was no broadcast. And it's not the opposition dinner of Grenada. It's Her Majesty's opposition leader. Isn't that the right terminology for her?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay, and why did the Governor General didn't really make a public announcement or anything? Do you remember that? I remember all these things because I am taking note of.
It is the first time in all the years that I've been involved in politics, and even before that I've been involved in politics, that I saw that being done in that way. That you just basically the person come by and you say, yeah, hold that. Not even say, well, okay,
Right.
let your mother come and your relatives and so on, and your husband and everybody, let them come down. And so it was basically just, here, hold that. As you're here, hold that. That was the kind of thing.
And it's not Grenada's opposition leader. It's Her Majesty's opposition leader because she represents. It's not. Right. It's His Majesty's opposition leader. So I mean that goes a long way. So that is what we're going to keep our eyes on her. And you don't have to endorse me on that or back me up on that. But let's play watch and see, right, sir? Good night, sir.
All right. Nutmeg State, have a good night. Tell the wife hello.
All right, good.
All right, great. Yes, indeed. Oh, that's interesting. How's that showing up now? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I'm just something that I saw just popped up on social media there. Basically asking about Grenada's election 2026. I didn't realize that we officially. Anyway, well, yeah. Yeah, also because Nutmeg State isn't wrong in some of his statements there, because over the weekend I also was shown a poster of I think it was a church service. Yeah, it was a church service, I believe it was. And that poster was in all of the NDC colors. And if I remember correctly as well, that poster was also for the it's at the Prime Minister's picture. It was supposed to be the police that were having that church service or whatever it was. Yeah. And this person continues to call somebody who could speak Spanish, or they might have to call and tell an individual, don't call straight. The same person been calling straight whole evening. Do not call straight. Call on WhatsApp. You cannot call straight because they know what's ringing, this ringing, all kind of thing. You cannot call straight. You have to call on the WhatsApp number. Yeah, you cannot call straight. Just repeating it one more time. You cannot call straight. You've got to call on the WhatsApp number. Yeah, folks, I'm referring to this particular poster, and I'd like an explanation regarding this. Yeah? Now, if it's the Royal Grenada Police Force, and you're going to put the Prime Minister, number one, you're in NDC colors already. So you see the red writing and you see the gold background. Every Grenadian knows which political party running with them colors there. Yeah, and then you take the political leader of that party, he happen to be the Minister of National Security. We know that going to be the excuse. But who you would expect to be there would have been the commissioner, ain't it? Yeah? Anyhow, all you're doing, all your thing, Papa. Mr. Commissioner, you know anything about that? You know anything about that poster? I know if the commissioner know anything about Mr. Commish. Randy? You know anything about that? Yeah, you know, man. Yeah, that's what going on in the place. That is what going on in the place, yeah? That is what we see going on. And again, folks, 421-7279 and 440-7377. And as I'm looking at 440-7377, let me apologize to all of the folks who were trying to call that number yesterday, because I'm seeing I missed a lot of calls from people on that number yesterday. We did not get the number set up until when I finish the program. I stay up until about 2 o'clock in the morning, making sure that I got that line to work. And nobody used it for the day so far. To making sure that I got that line to work. So 440-7377, you've got to call us on WhatsApp there. And 421-7279, you've got to call us on WhatsApp on that number too. Yeah? And folks, make sure you put on the armor of lover, because with what's some of what going on there.
Flat. To put on the armor. Put on the armor. Is what you deserve. Put on the armor of love. I'm wearing the breastplate of righteousness, so they can't jump up on my chest. I'm protected from above with the armor of love. The gift of life we ought to preserve with the armor of love.
So you're having a tourism product, they're damaging your tourism product, yeah?
Just practice what I told you now.
You already have a reduction in visitors and so on. You have a very limited number of people offering specific services, and in the particular service that that individual is offering, maybe they have somebody to bring in with horse, you know. Next thing is that are going on. Next thing, it has somebody else who has some horse and them they want to bring in to go and give a competition. Don't be surprised if in the next few months we see that happening by the time the next tourist season come around, or you see some horses arrive and then next year you realize there's some kind of thing taking place there. Yeah? Let me see what will be going on. Yeah? Let's see what will be going on. Because everybody with sense, so we ain't accusing some of them who say, you know, they say not having sense. Everybody with sense asking the same question. Why was that done? Yeah?
Put on the armor of love.
And while we speak about that, if they think that I've forgotten about what took place with our sisters working in the hotel sector, they are seriously misjudging me. Yeah? If they think we forget that, I just didn't talk about it tonight.
Put on the armor.
You all have to know that is more investigations are doing, eh?
Against the wiles of the devil.
Into the hotels that telling certain workers, if you go and do that, don't worry, don't go. We offering you this and we offering you that. Don't go and do this and don't go. Yeah, we know what's taking place, you know.
Put on the armor. Put on the armor of love.
And it means as well, we need to know what is the procedure for our workers in the hotels, in not just hotels, in the hospitality sector. If they are uncomfortable in these situations that they are being placed in, if they have found themselves in a situation where they have been attacked, or either if the attack is verbal or physical, whatever, or even emotional, if they are attacked, what is the hotel doing to help them? What is the hotel doing to sort that? Again, folks, you need to call. Yeah, I can't answer that way. You have to call. No, I'm not taking the phone and put by the thing. Pay attention, do it the right way. Yeah? Nice. So yeah, what is the direction? What does the staff do? Is there a proper protocol at all of the hotels? All. Is there a proper national protocol that says if you're working in that industry and you need to do a report, that you report here or there? Do we still intend for a young lady, for instance, that may have been raped, who may not feel comfortable talking to her next man, to walk into a police station and go and make a report to a policeman. Yeah? What is the procedure that is in place for the Royal Grenada Police Force regarding domestic abuse, sexual abuse, and the reporting of such? What is the process? Instead of coming out to say nobody ain't come in and report with some stupid press release, instead of putting out that dotishness, what you should be putting out is telling people what is the proper procedure for reporting. How can they be protected? Because in some instances, there's the embarrassment. Because we know that we have a lot of people around who would still, because of their politics and thing, look to attack the individuals when they come out and say, hey, it was me, this is what happened to me. Oh, well, she grandfather, uncle, he used to be a NNP. Not even she, she grandfather, uncle used to be a NNP. Yeah? Or she aunt, brother-in-law was married to a NNP. That is how far they will go. So it's less about the person now, and it's on to all these other side arguments. The side arguments aren't important. What we need to hear from the Royal Grenada Police Force is this is the procedure. Yeah? That we have done training with all our officers who are out there in the front line of how to address cases like this. Or, because as far as I know, there's supposed to be a special victims unit in it. We know there's supposed to be a special victims unit, right? With the Royal Grenada Police Force right now? Right. So what is the process? If there's an accusation, if there's a concern or consideration, do we call the special victims unit? I think the number is 400. Is it that? I think it's just dial 400 or something like that. Is it a situation that you call them and they would come and meet you and talk with you? Because sometimes people, they want to walk into the police station because immediately if they work in a particular place, well, yeah, she go and make report and so on, fire her. She breaching the non-disclosure agreement. So tell us, what is the procedure? Don't come and tell us nobody in report. Tell us how they should be reporting. Tell us why should you be out there saying that nobody ain't come and report and you ain't going and investigate nothing. You wait until all them people leave the island. I sit down right here, last week Tuesday around this same time. I sat right here and I said to the Royal Grenada Police Force and the Prime Minister of this country, this has happened. The people are still on Grenada. At that time, they were still in Grenada. I said the people are still in Grenada. Take action. Don't let it be a situation that these people just go. Minister 3 in the morning, big noise like thunder rolling, vroom, the plane leave. After 2 in the morning, Minister 3. Big noise, the plane gone. And then you want to tell people now, oh, well, the people leave, who you making a report on, the people gone? The people did not need to go. That was incompetence. And it may not even be incompetence because in some instances, it may have been willfully done. Willfully. Because you all knew. And if you know and you ain't do nothing about it, that is willfully done. It's past the stage of incompetence, is wickedness. But you all feel, and folks understand, again, and I'm going to say it as much as I have to say it until you all understand it. The Prime Minister of this country believes that all of us have a 5-day mentality. That after 5 days, we forget things. So after 5 days, we forget that thing went off in telescope and nearly killed how much people. So after 5 days, we forget how much gunshot was firing all over the place and how much young men lost their life within a short period of time. That 5 days, we go forget that 2 young men are supposed to have committed suicide over the weekend. So that there definitely is an issue. Because when you check the number of suicides for the year so far, it's a lot. I haven't put all the information regarding that together, but they have a significant number of suicides that have taken place within the 6th month of the year, and I'm pretty sure there have been at least one every single month for this year. That's significant. So instead of out there just blah, blah, blahing about mental health, go out and do some work. Instead of just there about blah, blah, blah. Oh, we have a minister of mental health. Just yap, 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 yap. Nothing really substantive. The same individual who, when they was part of NNP, I always used to ask him, where's the situation with the sex offenders registry? What's the situation with the sex offenders registry? Working on it, working on it. What's the situation with the sex offenders registry? Working on it, working on it. They're still working on it. Some young ladies get killed earlier this year. Young lady get killed. We see the situation. Candlelight and walking. And right after they finish that, they start to cuss our next lady. They start to cuss the leader of His Majesty's opposition. And now when she's talking out in relation to other young ladies who cannot talk out, and these wicked and vile people who call themselves human, I'll go run my blood pressure up and make my heart explode. You know? Even though I talk so, my blood pressure normal. But these wicked people who going out and say all the things that they're saying there, these same people is the ones going and light candle and talk about women empowerment, like we protect we women. And when the leader of the opposition come out, no, we mean all you. We mean our women. We only mean women who will put on the yellow t-shirt and go out to NDC rally. When we say protect our women, we mean our women. We mean all women. So it seems as though women empowerment is only for a certain segment of the Grenadian society and not for everybody. So when it comes to the horses that were murdered, yeah, that's horse murder. The horses that were murdered, not just euthanized, I'm using no nice name for it, only murder them. When it comes to the horses that were murdered, because there was no right to kill them, there was no reason to kill them, that's murder. As far as I'm concerned, a big healthy animal like that, pregnant and kill them. Beastly act. All you feel, we will forget that after 5 days, innit? Listen, we are forgetting nothing. Nutmeg State does always call and raise an issue. You know why he does call and raise an issue? Because he understands Deacon Mitchell, and he understands that Deacon Mitchell believes that all of we have a 5-day mentality. Don't study Grenadians and that. After 5 days, they go forget that. Run, pave that road day. They go forget the fact that for 4 years, the vehicle was mashing up on that road. They go forget the fact that for 4 years, the vehicle damaged so much that the amount of money they spend on repairing that vehicle, they could have buy a next vehicle and replace it. Just do the road now. Because they have a 5-day mentality. They go forget about the fact of how the road was before. They go forget about the sex offenders registry that's sitting on the governor, not the governor general, the attorney general's desk from the time she came into office. I want Grenadians to know that the sex offenders registry been sitting on Claudette Joseph's table. That former Attorney General Dia Forrester and former I keep saying Governor General, Attorney General before them, that is not my state show that thing, you know. The former Attorney General Cadgington Hood did work on it. They had a young man that actually put together the app for the sex offenders registry. Everything was put together already. The work was continued. You had Dasa and then you had Dia Forrester. I showed you all. I put it on this program and I show you all the consultation around COVID time on that same sex offenders registry. When they came in, all they had to do was take it and bring it to Parliament. If they wanted to make whatever look a change there, they could have made the change. But they didn't find time for that. But they find in time to come and tell you that the Attorney General and the Minister of Health go make decisions on the reproductive health of your children under the age of 12. They find time to go in Parliament with that, but they didn't find time to go in Parliament with the sex offenders registry. So that if a guy commit 3 or 4 rapes in his life, and there are many guys like that, they have committed multiple rapes that they've gone to prison and come out and go back to prison for rape and so. I see one of them up in St. John does run him out on NNP. Like he feel with why he files on the rape that he committed at the local child that had to leave Grenada and go and can't even come back in Grenada these days. because of what he did to them. The one in St. John. I know I don't get on any mud with people, so I ain't call name. But they know because they go here. They go know. Go feel because she gone. We don't remember. Remember very well what was done. But so that we as parents could know that this man that come and live in the area does interfere with little boys. And he was in prison for that twice already. Or that man that come in the area, they rape a 7-year-old girl. So you know that to keep your little children away from that man place. We were putting it in place. And if an NNP government had been elected in 2022, that process would have been completed as long as we didn't leave it in number 10 hand. Would have been completed. It's sitting on the Attorney General's desk right now. She had time for all kind of things. Go in the States and tell people you want them to pay how much on me. I'd pay that kind of money to go and listen to that stupidity. I ain't doing that. No, I ain't going to hear stupidness from no clown. No. Who want to, if they want to go to a circus, they could pay the money and go to the circus. Don't go in them kind of things. So. But meanwhile, parents don't know the guys who are leaving prison, what they leave prison for and come in and live right next door to them with the children. And they hiring some of these guys to come and clean their yard because the same one that did that murder up there, the guy was hired by people with young females in the house, had to clean their yard and cut land next to them and all kind of thing. And they didn't know who it was. But according to the Prime Minister and them, don't bother with Grenadian after 5 days they forget that. This Grenadian ain't forgetting not after 5 days, 5 years or 5 centuries. Once alive, I go always remember. Folks, that is all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night. Should be having guests on with me tomorrow night again. It was wonderful being here. Remember the NNP app. Yeah, remember to check out the NNP app. Go and download it. And so I will be putting up, I'll get the QR code and so and put it up on the page and everything so that you all will just scan, go straight to it, and you download and everything. Put in whatever you have to put in and so, and you're good to go. All right, so folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here, and everything you say and do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. Love each and every one of you. I am out.
Tonight, who is kissing them so right, Lord? Who is dancing with you tonight? You just the woman of the night. You just the woman of the night. Tell them that you love them. Tell them that you want them, baby. You just the woman of the night. Of your lips, it's really hypnotized me.